everybody. Oh my gosh, my clock in the kitchen is wrong. You guys must have been wondering what's going on. So, oh wow. Okay, let me get things going here. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Oh my goodness. You guys must be wondering. Okay. So we should be good now. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. I'm just busy making plantain. Oh, gosh. And I was painting yesterday, too. Busy making plantain and yeah, so anyway, hi, Jane. Yeah, I'm late. Oh, my gosh. It says 5 to 11 on my kitchen clock, so I guess I need to... definitely need to work with that. I looked at my phone. I was like, oh my God, I'm late. Okay, let's get going. So, okay, I'm just making sure. Okay, yes. All right, I'm just making sure I get my comments. Okay, so awesome. So, oh, there's always something. Always, you know. Yeah, that's so strange because it seemed to be perfectly fine yesterday. Anyway, let's get going. So we're going to do a, you know what we're going to do, and you guys can help me name it because I'm not really sure what to call it, but we're going to make a chickenless pieless pot. No, a chickenless pot pieless. Anyway, we're going to make a chicken pot pie with no chicken and no pie. That's what we're doing. So, so I need a name for that if you guys want to hang out. Hey, hi, Darlene. Sorry I'm late. I can't believe my clock was wrong. I'm like, you know, still got 10 minutes. And so anyways, yeah, so we're going with the onion again. And starting off with the onion, and we have our water boiling. Luckily, I had everything ready. And so yeah, so you know, like when excuse me, when we used to it's always I think it's always a favorite, chicken pot pie, right? I don't see how anybody ever didn't like that. It just has such a warm, homey feeling, and just, you know, the flavors are amazing and everything. And so so I just made it without the chicken, and you know, I've told you guys before that that I'm not a very good baker. Like, baking just isn't really my thing. I can do it with effort, and sometimes it's pretty good. You know, I used to be able to make good muffins, and I don't know what happened to my muffin making skills, but I don't know, they just disappeared. Maybe it's the that I don't really want to be doing gluten, and it is harder to work with you know, gluten-free flours. Although Bob's Red Mill gluten-free flour is very good, and he's done a really good job in mixing them. And there's a couple others. I think there's a Robin Hood one too that's actually fairly easy to work with. So anyway, it just baking hasn't been my focus, other than my husband really loves chocolate chip cookies, and I do too. So, you know, that's kind of been the thing. One thing I am good at, and I really love in baking, is ginger snaps. But nobody likes my ginger snaps because they're too gingery. I tend to add a lot of ginger. And so, and that works for me because it's more ginger snaps for me, and nobody's getting into the cookie cupboard. So, so we've got the onions happening. We're using yellow onions, anti-inflammatory, and also good for the immune system. And we're going to put the celery in too. So the celery, super full of potassium and good for arthritis, and really good because of the natural sodium content in it. So I'm going to give this a little stir. here. Whoops, there goes an onion peel. Okay, so we'll give that a little stir, and then we are gonna add some carrot, because I think, you know, definitely we want some carrot in our chicken pot pie. And that carrot had a little tiny thing in it. Imperfection. That's what it's called. Oh, Giselle. Hey, Giselle, you're here. Yay. Yeah, I think my ginger snaps are the best too. I really do. Because I like them super hot. Like just, you know, it just bursts in your tongue. It's so spicy and warm. And the ginger's so good for you. Ginger, you know, being anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antibacterial. Like I said before, if you don't have anything else in your cupboard and you're feeling sick, you know, or you've got a cold or a flu or anything, and you have nothing else, if you might want to do it on a full stomach, just, you know, if you're going to do a lot of ginger and you're sensitive. But the ginger will kill pretty much anything, viral, bacterial. It's just awesome. So we're going with trying to make these carrots a little smaller. And of course, you know, carrots, as we know, are good for your eyes. Beta carotene with the carrots. I wonder if that's how they came up with the whole beta carotene thing. Although I think that's in the red vegetables as well. Okay, so what I did also, I'm just not looking at you guys because I don't want to cut myself. And I'm getting much better at cutting several carrots in a row sitting down. So thank you for that. You've had me practicing new things, new talents. Okay, so we're going to have the, get these going. And of course, for the new people that have come on, I always start the pot with just water and no oil. Usually, and so this has no oil, it's just pot with a little bit of water in it, and the higher the heat and the least amount of liquid, the faster it's going to cook. So so the carrots are going to soften up, and then we have the onions translucent and the celery's getting nice and soft. So what I did to add to this chickenless pot pie, and I really do want you guys to help me with the name since it's chickenless and pieless. And what I did was, these are the green lentils. Okay, so last week, or this week, what was it? This week, we used red lentils. Red lentils cook super, super fast, and they're really good at thickening things up. And so as a filler, they work really good, like super easy, fast cooking. Now the thing with the lentils, like Dr. Greger said, Dr. Michael Greger that wrote the book How Not to Die, and he has the website nutritionfacts.org. He said that when you eat lentils, you're full for a way longer time, like at least 4 hours, and so they really, because they have such a good quality protein, it lasts longer for your, to keep you so that you aren't hungry again for quite a while. So they're a really, really good source of protein, and they've got manganese. They really, the protein lowers your blood sugar, right? We spoke about the blood sugar and having your blood sugar spiked. And so when you eat something like maybe pastas, even rice pastas, that can give you, if you're sensitive, it can give you more of a blood sugar drop later on after you've eaten it. And so to be aware of certain pastas, like rice ones or whatever, because some, when you have an issue where you don't feel well, and it just kind of comes on, then you really need to look at what you ate anywhere from 2 to 12 to maybe 24 hours before. Because what you eat is going to affect your energy levels, your blood sugar levels, your everything. And so the lentils are super awesome for that, for holding a steady blood sugar release. So, Anyway, these are green lentils. They do take a little bit longer to cook than the red lentils. And so I soaked them, of course, right? So we went through all the lectin information, and we learned all about the lectins and why you soak to remove the lectins so that it reduces the amount of gas and bloating and makes it easier to digest. So I did soak the lentils last night, and I rinsed them off this morning, and then these cook pretty fast, but I did decide to do the Instant Pot because I wanted to go out in the garden first thing this morning and look for slugs. And so these were in the Instant Pot for 2 minutes, and yeah. Barb, hey Barb, I was late. My clock was wrong. Like my kitchen clock was like, oh, it's still 10 to 11, and it was like 10 after 11. So yeah, so I will pay attention to my phone and fix my kitchen clock. It probably needs a new battery. I'm just late, that's all. Busy, making plantain sap. Anyways, so the lentils, this is going to be our mock chicken, okay? These are quite a few, so I'm not going to add them all, and I don't know if you guys are measuring, but there's a, I'm glad you guys missed me. Yeah, so I'm going to say 1 small onion, because I'm not going to make a lot of this chickenless pieless. 1 onion, 1 carrot, I don't know, ½ cup of celery. So I'm going to use a clean spoon so I can use these lentils for another soup, and I'm going to say, it has to be like a chicken pot pie, so I don't want it too thick. Okay, so we're going to go with 1.5 cups of lentils-ish. Okay. Oh, I've got something really exciting to show you guys. Glad I sat up there and looked down so I know what I'm doing. Remember, we made the beautiful, whatever day that was, Tuesday or Wednesday, we made the, oh, it's dripping everywhere, turnips, carrots, what did we do? Turnips, carrots, zucchini, those zucchinis that grow in the garden. The turnips and the carrots and the zucchini, and there was something else we put in there. Come on, you guys. Anyways, beets. That's why it's red. Turnips, carrots, zucchini, and beets. And we made a beautiful spiralized salad. Beautiful. And then we mixed it all together, and of course the beets turned everything red. And then we added a, vinaigrette-ish. If you want to know more about it, go to that Facebook or that YouTube video. But anyway, this was a couple days ago, and so I thought, okay, we always want to have more vegetables than less. So you make it healthier. So for the chicken pot pie, I thought, you know what? Right here, because a few more groceries, right here I have beets, turnips, carrots, and zucchini. And so I just rinsed off the vinaigrette salad dressing. So I rinse this off in hot water, and I have a whole bunch of vegetables that are already mushed up, and or whatever, they're chopped up. They're not mushed, but they're nicely chopped. And so why not add that, right? So this is the thing that I was telling you guys before. When you make something, make a little bit extra, and then you can always use that in something else. And so even though that was is a salad, I still have a little in the fridge left. Even though it's a salad, just rinse it off and reuse it for whatever else you want, right? So, so it's just little things that I do that are for convenience, right? So why not reuse what you have, or rinse off and what do they call that? Recycle? No, not recycle. When you take something and you redo it. Anyways, okay, so that's the thing. When you make extra stuff, you can always find another use for it in a different way by simply doing something like rinsing it off. Okay, so we're going to add, I did dehydrated my oregano. We're going to add some oregano, and this is like little stems and all. I'd say kind of fell apart here. Because it's fresh oregano, you need more. If it's dried and it's really powdered and crushed, you know, you'll need less. But this is very fresh, so the flavor is very mild. And so I'm going to say a couple teaspoons. I am going to add some thyme. We dehydrated the thyme the other day too, or we didn't. I did, and then I showed you that I did. And so we're going to add some thyme. I don't want too much thyme, like a teaspoon of thyme, tablespoon of oregano. We're going to add some water because I can hear it is cooking too much. And as you guys know, I don't want it too overcooked, although it is going to be a chicken pot pie, so the vegetables are going to be cooked all, you know, to mush anyways. And so, chickenless vegetable pie. Okay, so I know stuff starts. I talk about things like yesterday we made the broccoli soup, and it really didn't look like broccoli soup until the very end. And this doesn't look much more like chicken pot pie, but we're going to add some minced garlic, and then we're going to add some granulated garlic as well for the flavoring. And okay. Oh, and I am going to take another one of these cubes. These are the vegetarian. It just, my thing just said there was an unknown error. Okay, let me try. I won't get your comments if I can't see you. Now, why does it keep doing that? Keeps doing the an unknown error occurred. Oh, yours is acting up also. Okay. Yeah. Repurpose. That's the word. Thank you, Jane. Repurposing food. Sounds funny, but it's very useful. Anyway, these come from Healthy Habits. These are they're vegetable bouillon cubes, and so that's going to give us our real, you know, chicken pot pie flavor. And yeah, I know Facebook's acting up. I don't know. I mean, everybody in the planet is online, so I guess these things are to be expected. Anyways, okay, so we have that. We're going to thicken this up. And one thing I didn't think of, you guys know, I just never think of, so I often don't plan ahead. I just jump right in and figure out how to do it later. I did not realize that adding the beets with the zucchini, carrots, and turnips, that salad, I didn't realize those beets are just going to turn everything red. So, hey, I have an idea. I have an idea to remedy that. Because I don't really want my chicken pot pie, chickenless pot pie to be red. Like I just, traditionally, it's supposed to be kind of yellowy. So let's add turmeric. Okay, let's get the turmeric in there to fight with the beets and see who wins. So, okay, so the turmeric, as you know, you guys know how good turmeric is for you. It has the curcumin in it. It's anti-inflammatory, has so many benefits for the immune system. And whenever you're using turmeric, you always want to add black pepper because it helps to activate the turmeric. And the turmeric, though, I added about a heaping teaspoon. I didn't add a lot because it can change the flavor. Right, because it's bitter. It is a little bit bitter, which is why they make it with golden milk and use like a creamer that's got a sweetener or honey or something in it. I'm just going to add a little bit more anyways, because what I can do to reverse the bitterness is add a little bit of maple syrup later if it is. But I really am trying to change the color here to be a little bit golden, or you know, more of that. Oh god, more of the chicken. Oh hey, chicken pot pie is not chicken pot pie without peas. Where are the peas? Oh, I'm glad I remembered, but I left them over here. Hang on. I was probably doing that when I realized what time it is. And you know, you can't really make it with canned peas or anything like that. So I have frozen peas, and that's probably why they were over at the sink, was because I looked up and realized what kind it was for my phone. So the, yeah, chicken pot pie has to have peas. It's traditional. It's not usually traditional with zucchini, turnips, carrots, beets, celery. Yes, that's traditional. Okay, so starting to look more like chicken pot pie. Can you guys see that okay? Okay, let's thicken it up. Oh my God, I'm so late, you guys. And I apologize for that. So if you need to leave, see it says can't play video again. If you need to leave, you can just watch the rest of this later. But it's just way more fun when you're here. Crazy. I hope I'm still being recorded. That's the most important thing. Anyways, looks like I'm still on. What a day. Okay, so we're going to thicken this with tapioca starch. And yeah, I like the tapioca. You could use flour if you want. But I really like the tapioca better. The flour adds an earthiness to it. And that's okay. I think, you know, probably that's pretty good. But like I said, I'm really trying to stay away from the gluten, and I don't know if rice flour will do the same, have the same thickening power. I don't know, so I haven't tried that. If you guys know, let me know. And and of course, you're always mixing your either your flour or your tapioca starch or whatever. You're always mixing that with cold water. And I'm just trying to get back on here. Okay, I don't know. Oh, you're not going anywhere. Oh, good. We keep losing the thing. I hope you guys are still on. Anyway, your tapioca starch with cold water, and then you stir it so that it's really thin. You guys probably already know this. I'm sure you must. And then you add it to the heat, the hot water, and then that thickens it up. Okay, so yeah, so we're just going to let that simmer along. I'm pretty sure I have all the ingredients in here. And so we're just going to leave that on high to thicken. And it's looking a little bit better as far as not so much like borscht. Okay, so on to the next thing here. I'll show you the sprouts. We've been sprouting these for 3 days. The radishes are coming along. It just knocked me off again. And the purple barley's coming along. Let me see. You can see the little hairs coming out of the bottom of the hairs, the little roots, and so these are going to be super powerful superfood. So they are ready to eat. You can see the little sprout is super exciting. Eating this is like eating 12 vegetables in a day. You know, it's just like a superfood. So the other thing I was going to show you was, and I'm going to guess that I'm still online. Let's see if I can find you guys again. But it doesn't really matter as long as the recording is going. That's the important thing. So what we're going to do is vegetable pot stew. I like that. Vegetable pot stew. Okay, thank you, Jane. That's awesome. It's raining. Okay, not surprising. Okay, so next thing, let's do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to also add to this, and then I'm going to do something else. I have no idea where we're at for time now that I'm so lost. Okay, so we're going to add some of the oyster mushrooms, the dried ones that I dried, dehydrated. And the oyster mushrooms are super good for detoxing. They absorb all the toxins in the body. They are full of antioxidants, and oh my gosh, they're just so nutritious. As a culinary mushroom, it's one of the top ones, like just super, really incredible, more so than what I thought. So if you can get a hold of oyster mushrooms, I know it's too late in the year now to find them, probably. Although it's raining again, so you never know. They pop up after the rain. And so if you can't, you can buy them often in the stores, and they cultivate them. I think that's the word for it. They cultivate them, and I'm looking. I've got my little bag of mushrooms here, and I'm looking for the maitake guy. Maitake. Okay, so the maitake mushroom is really good for the immune system as well. Super powerful, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I think that that's the right one. I can't remember. Shiitake, maitake, I think so. Anyway, the maitakes, good for the immune system. They balance your blood pressure. They help to balance your, not your blood pressure, your blood sugar. Sorry about that. Maitake balances blood sugar and lowers cholesterol, and they're all anti-cancer. Like, they just repel the cells. Of course, it depends on your immune system and everything else you're doing and eating and all of that. But they have been used in studies as, you know, like broccoli and cabbage and all that stuff has been studied for the reverse effects of colon cancer for the broccoli and the cabbage. And then these mushrooms have been studied for just all kinds of cancers. So that's coming along really good. My video fell off again. And so we're going to go on to the next thing, and I'm just going to pray that I'm still on. And, okay, this is super easy, super fun, super duper duper. Okay, we're going, I have so many strawberries from the garden. Oh my God, what a blessing. So I'm just going to carefully pop these guys in here. Just strawberries that I picked. I took the little tops off. They're so prolific. It's so awesome. And oh, you know what? I probably should have done this different now that I think about it, because I'm used to using the Vitamix, and so you want to put, when you're blending anything, put your juicy things, wet things, where the blade is in the bottom. And so I was thinking that this would be strawberries be on the bottom and then the cocoa on the top. But because I'm going to turn this upside down because I'm not using the Vitamix, I want the berries with the blade, right? So you always want to put, there it is, you always want to put your liquid thing near the blade, and then your drier things away from the blade. So I'm just going to add cocoa. So we're going to make a chocolate strawberry dessert smoothie. Okay, so that much cocoa, I'd say a heaping teaspoon to a little thing full of strawberries. And I better turn that off because that's looking pretty traditionally overcooked. So this is a fun meal. It's a treat. It doesn't, you know, typically chicken stew pie or chicken pot stew, I'm going to have to see that again, but it just cut me off, is traditionally overcooked, and it's a warm comfort food. It's not really, it's not a health supplement. Although we did add the mushrooms, which is going to help to make it more supplement. Okay, back to putting the blade on here. Oh my God. Actually, you know what? I'm not that bad for time, I think, if I'm looking at the computer right. I'm like, oh my God, how late am I? Okay, so we have the cocoa and the strawberries, and you know, it all depends on how sweet your strawberries are. But I'm not going to add any sweetener to this because I don't think I'm going to need it, even with the cocoa, because it's pure cocoa, so it's going to be bitter. And I just thought of something else I was going to do with this, and I was going to add my morning powders to it to make this more of a healthy smoothie, rather than just strawberries and cocoa, which is also amazing because the cocoa has the antioxidants. Pure cocoa is antioxidant. It's got all kinds of things that are good for you, which I think it's manganese. I don't know. Anyway, I can't remember at the moment. And so I am going to take this apart again, because I want to add some of my morning powders, and I want the powders down a little so that they don't go right on the blade, although I'm not adding much. So the morning powders are a supplement that I make up, and I take it every day, and it's astragalus, ashwagandha, ginseng, olive leaf extract, maca, moringa, ashwagandha, did I say that already, and shatavari. So I'm just adding a tiny bit. So it's good for you, for anybody who's looking for an additional health supplement based on your needs, your health needs. And so you can research the different herbs, and you can get them in a powder at the health food store, Healthy Habits, and then mix it together based on your needs. So with this one, the ashwagandha is super, super good for the immune system. Oh my God, it does so many different things. It's really good for stress. It's an adaptogen, which means it helps you to deal with stress, and anti-aging. It's good for sleep. And then astragalus is kind of similar, but it boosts the immune system, and it's an antioxidant and a little more anti-inflammatory. Maca is good for energy, but I've always heard the expression through some of the herbalists, maca for the caca. It's good for stamina. It's good for brain function. Moringa is antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, and shatavari is like a woman's, more of a balancing hormones, really good for just balancing women's everything. But you know, I think that we're so we're everything, right? So we live together. I mean, for those of us that live with men, you're sharing that energy all the time, and so so it's really good for him to have a little dose of you know, balancing hormones too. And so so the shatavari is not specifically for women. It just is really helpful, and so he takes this too. That's what I'm trying to say. He takes this too. What did I just knock over? And yeah, so oh, and the moringa. Whoops, knocking it over. So the moringa is really good. It's also, you know, they're very similar. It's like a powerhouse. For me, it's really important for me to, in my mind, for me to stay healthy. And so I do just a tiny bit of each of those. And then the other thing about supplements that you take daily, you should always have a break. And like you take them daily for 3 months, and then, you know, give yourself a week's break or switch it up. And then for the next 6 months, you're doing something just slightly different, like the things that you really need, you need. But it's always good to provide or use different herbs for that may even do the same thing, but just different herbs because they have different properties and qualities. And so once you know, what I'm trying to say is once your body gets used to being fed something over and over and over again, it kind of becomes complacent and gets used to it, basically. And so it's always good to switch it up, and then your body will say, oh, well, this particular, you know, plant or herb or whatever, oh wow, what's this? Well, I need to, you know, I need to look up what we need to do with this and how we can use it for healing. So it is always good to switch things up. So so you could switch up the astragalus with the ashwagandha and all that kind of thing. Anyway, that's a whole nother course. I teach that in depth elsewhere or other ways. Okay, let's get back to this. I've kept you guys here long enough. Okay, we're going to zip this up. Okay, so we've made our beautiful, looks like beets. I'm going to give it a shake because some of the cocoa stuck to the sides. And I'm going to hope that I put my beauty little dish here to show you guys. So this kind of pretty much turned out like a smoothie, and I was sure, oh, I did. Okay, so strawberries and cocoa. And I did not add any sweetener, but I did add the morning powders, which can be bitter. So I'm just going to give a little taste here. I think it's perfect, but Daniel probably want a little bit of maple syrup, so I will add that because it's got like the fresh strawberry richness to it. So so if I were you, you might want it a little bit sweeter. I like things tart, and so you could add a tablespoon of maple syrup to this and sweeten it up a bit, or coconut sugar, whatever you want to add for sweetener, as long as it's not white sugar. You guys do know that white sugar paralyzes the immune system. Like, it just stops everything because it's trying to, well, it's a big long explanation. But basically it just, the body's so busy dealing with the sugar, it really affects your immune system, and there's a lot of other explanation on that. But anyways, if you feel sick at all, do not eat white sugar, okay? Because it will, yeah, it really does affect your immune system. So any other kind of sugar is awesome. Maple syrup or coconut sugar or whatever. There's a thing called, okay, I'm going to quit. Honest, I promise. If you want a sugar that does not affect that is one of the preferred ones for diabetes is monk fruit. And monk fruit is super sweet, like super sweet. It almost tastes like an icing sugar sweetness. And it's a monk fruit, so it's way better for balancing blood sugar. So you can check that out for a natural sugar too. And there's also stevia, which I don't like. To me, stevia tastes like even though it's a plant, it's got some kind of weird taste in my mind. Anyway, okay, thanks you guys. I'm really honored that that everybody was worried about me. That's awesome. Have a great weekend, and see you Monday. And thank you for coming and hanging out. And I'm so sorry to have been late. But anyway, okay, so let me know in the comments what you want to do for next week. I've got a few ideas planned, and be sure to look up my YouTube and share my videos and subscribe. See you Monday.